Hey, Jeremiah, how you doing?
I'll crack this open if you don't mind us drinking in front of you. I know it's 9:12 in the morning.
I will live vicariously through you.
I've never had a beer with someone in the future before, and I feel like that's kind of what we're doing right now.
When I started Hop Revolution, as I was thinking quite small, I was thinking providing for New Zealand growers. And then I did a visit to the States, and pretty much the first brewery I walked into and said, why the hell aren't you, growing more hops for us?
All the different vendors and supplier relationships that we have, from the in-betweeners who also sell us grain, to working directly with maltsters, to working directly with hop farmers who do everything. You really get excited, inspired by working with good people who do great things, who obviously have their heart in this whole process like you guys do.
I'm just as excited because we're learning, how to manipulate the plants on the farm to drive those flavor profiles. And, as a scientist, that's just nerdy stuff that I enjoy. I kind of think that brewers themselves are pretty much all nerds and love this sort of stuff. So, it's a perfect marriage.
Excited for this.
You finally get to taste Riwaka. Smell it, see what it's like. You just smell it and you're like, yeah, it's fucking awesome.
An Amaro character to it, gives it some bitterness and some roundness, so it's not just sweet.
It's like if you took like a navel orange and squeezed lime juice on top of it and set it out on the beach and had the wind come by. It's like how that would feel if you were the orange.
Yeah.
So it's got that punchy character, it's wild when there's like a cool pine character.
Riwaka was our last variety to get planted. So the plants were younger and smaller. And as we were going through the growing season, they just weren't responding the way the other varieties were.
Part of the allure of Riwaka is that it is so bad agronomically speaking, right? So it's a brilliant hop. If you can get it, use it. It's gonna be amazing, and that's what we're seeing, but you might not get as much as you want.
We had to weigh up that really tough decision when we got to harvest about how much we would actually harvest versus letting the rest of the plants just grow on to then yield better in the second year.
We contracted about 10 times the amount we got. Tell somebody they can't have something. You can't have this hop. You can't get it. It's hard to get. What do you think we're gonna spend our time on? We're gonna try and get this hop.
So we're talking a really, really perfect amount of head and, foam here. I'd tip it over so you could see the top of it, but I'd spill beer all over my computer.
Obviously, Riwaka is one of those hops that you'd heard about, but probably hadn't tasted too many beers or brewed with yourself. How do you approach a new hop like that?
Not knowing yet what Riwaka would do by itself in a hazy IPA with our approach, that let's deliver it with Citra, knowing how many different things we've paired with Citra, and see what kind of differences happen and what kind of flavors and aromas change and how we like it and if there's anything we don't. And can't speak highly enough about how well that worked. I think that there isn't a soul on this earth who doesn't like Citra, and I hope that reaction to Riwaka is the same as we get more and more of it and are able to make more beers with it and just use it more in general.
3 descriptors for Riwaka, the hop. Candied sweetness, grapefruit, and what? Right on.
It's not dryness because you're getting juicy, but it's like a lack of sweetness.
It provides that 1 or 2 things that those other ones don't or can't, or that if you're looking for that very specific thing, which to me is basically like that lemon thyme white pepper note.
Sure.
It's like it's got just enough fruit, but just enough weirdness to twist the whole beer on its head.
So what do you guys want to do next? What do you think?
I can think of a dozen hops off the top of my head, that we want to pair with Riwaka. And I bet we'd get 12 different amazing beers just based on the limited interaction we've had with it so far. And that is super exciting as brewers because it opens new doors, makes new beers, new flavors, new aromas. It gets people who are drinking it excited because it's things that they've never tasted.
We're always talking about, like, we'll make a beer with Citra and Mosaic, and that's fine and dandy, and that beer will be kick-ass, and that's okay. But we're always looking for like this magic moment where the sum of its parts creates something we've never smelled before. So, I mean, these are the experiences right here that I think we're after.
I mean, this only happens once, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, that's the
what's
thing.
cool about
That's
it,
the
right?
thing.
Like-
You never get back that first experience, and then all your memories, all your experiences afterwards, all go back to that first touch point, right?
Feels like, even though it's just one hop, it's one beer, that this culminates a multi-year journey for us trying to get access to this hop, you know, connecting with you, to meeting with you here, to bugging you and how's harvest and what's going on and timeline and ship it, and then we use it. And it's just, it really is a cool story that I think far too many beer drinkers, they don't always get to see.
It's like the highs and the lows on both sides. You know, it's been this tricky, ever-changing situation, but you know what? It's worked.